Yeah, one of my mentors when I was first building this agency, his name's Alex Boyd, and he's actually an advisor at our company, went through this process with us, and I thought it was just really valuable for anybody who's creating content to understand how to create some sort of strategic narrative and perspective for their business. So if you're going to be creating more content, if you're going to be putting yourself out there, especially as a leader, or however it is that you're going to be generating content for the company, that there's a perspective that's drawn. And from the strategic narrative process, that starts with understanding the status quo of the audience. So you first figure out who is the audience that we're speaking to. The more specific you can be, the better, right? Because you want to be able to talk to individual people. That might be the personas, the ideal personas. Once you have a sense of who those ideal personas are, we need to start creating word pictures of what it is that they deal with on a daily basis in their life. So what that would look like is understanding this could be through interviews, right? Like potential customer interviews or Reddit or Quora posts. You want to find real words that these people are using to describe their day-to-day life. You don't want to be dealing in generalities. You want to be looking at, if I woke up this morning and say that I am trying to quit alcohol, right? You might paint a picture with your words for me of the moment that I woke up and my eyes are creaking open and I'm looking at my phone and I realize that I missed a really important meeting because I was hungover and I overslept. Create the word picture for me of that. Like if you were to just say like, get rid of hangovers. It's like, okay, I want to get rid of my hangovers. But if you're to paint a picture of me oversleeping for that meeting and now getting fired from my job, it's a very different story, right? So it's taking that status quo portion and creating pictures that people can see through words in their head. It's imaging. So then after that, after we create these status quo environments where we're taking real quotes from what we get from potential clients, from people who are in that ideal client persona, then what we're needing to do is create a perspective of how their mindset should shift. So they have a current mindset and a current reality based on their status quo. And then what needs to happen is we need to figure out what mindset shifts must occur for them to make a decision to take a step towards the product or service that we offer. So for this other example, it's like my mindset would need to shift that not only do I not want to have hangovers anymore, but hangovers contribute to me losing my job, losing my life, losing money. And I must realize the downstream specific effects that can happen because of this one status quo. So now that you've created the mindset shift, the last portion of it is the new way. The new way, and all of this is really effective when it's completely agnostic of a specific service or product. So what you're not doing is injecting your service or product into all of this by name. You're just creating thought leadership around how these things should happen. So it's almost as if you deconstruct your business, and it's almost like you have to create all this without saying your business's name. And then you deconstruct and look at the processes of how all these things would occur in the environment where you're identifying a status quo, you're changing their mindset, and then you're giving them a new way, which is a process or is a methodology or is a strategy that essentially your business does, but saying it in a way that doesn't include your business. And it includes perspective on like why you would do something in this new way. So what that really does is the ultimate goal is we want people to go through this narrative process, and it should be painfully obvious that your company is the solution without you even mentioning it. So they should be able to look at your product or service or whatever it is and say, based on this narrative, I've now seen my status quo, my mindset has been shifted, and I agree that your new way is the way to do it. Oh, and that's what you do in your business. That's cool.